You're videoing right now?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
So I'm talking to,
John Kurschner.
and you're a comedian, stand up. You were funny today. All I can tell you, you were very funny today
Thank you.
and stuff.
I appreciate that's all we really want is for you to say that.
I always think, what do you want an audience to, after they see you? I mean, all comedians are different. What do you want the audience to feel after they leave your
I want them
show?
to follow my Instagram. At
like
the
that.
Kursch.
Promote. Promote.
TheKursch.
Right.
No, I want them. Well, during the show, I already know like if it's going well, you know, and after the show, just not even after the show, like walking off the stage, just like a pound, like a good job is that's what we love. We like that, you know. We work hard writing our shit, and you know.
Can you tell the difference between like a East Coast audience or an urban audience, or just every audience is different? You just kind of feel them out.
Yeah, when we open up, we feel, it depends on where you're going in the lineup. If you're in the beginning of the lineup, you're the one that's setting the tone. You're the one that's showing all the comics. This is what we have tonight. Unless the comics are too bougie and they're outside while you're doing your set and they're not watching you.
Yeah,
But
it seems like a mercenary world. You hear stories. I mean, are some comics very giving with their time? Have they helped you, mentored you when you were coming up, or some different?
just about everybody. Yeah, no one's ever. You know, if you're good to them, they're good to you.
Oh, really? Oh.
I have like a certain. I run with like a certain group of comics. Where we do a lot of shows together, and then I have like someone like Tommy Gooch, like you've seen tonight,
Right.
He's let me open for him a million times, and he gives me a lot of advice, and
Wow.
a lot of it's helpful. Almost all of it's helpful, you know. Some of it's like, John, you can't do the dead kid joke. You can't do the dead kid joke. I'm like, Tommy, I know. The first comic did a dead kid joke, and the woman in the front's kid died. I know.
Oh, God.
I know you can't do it.
You
So
might lose them sometimes too.
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh, I lose them all the time.
But you were talking about is your kid really that dumb? You were talking about your.
It's kind of stupid. Yeah, his name's also John Kurschner. No, I had him when I was a kid. I was 22.
Wow.
And his mom was like, "I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And you know, I've had him since he was 3. He's 18 now. He's got a job. He's looking for a career. He's doing all right.
But
He's not as stupid as I say on stage.
Well, yeah, you have to exaggerate things, but
a little bit, not a lot. He is.
I was thinking you might give him a complex, though, but it was funny, though. One thing I'm learning about, you know, if you look what you say, if you write the written word, it might not sound funny, but it's true. Your phrasing, your timing, that's what starts cracking you up and stuff, you know,
Thank you.
in your face and everything. How do you get, is that just practice?
With me, it was a long time. It wasn't overnight. I didn't have it when I first started. I was bombing everywhere, and still once in a while I'll bomb. And
Right. How do you soldier on, though? That must be the loneliest feeling in the world, and also a feeling of staying in ridicule. People looking at it like you suck, you know, and everything. What do you do so you don't quit? You have no other choice, or what?
No, I have a career outside of comedy, which I don't talk about. I never talk about it, and I still really won't that much.
At Target? No. Sure.
At Target John. Yeah. No, I have a career outside of comedy, and when I first started doing stand-up, I used to use that as a crutch. Well, you know what? I'm doing great at my career. I don't really need comedy. And then after 12 years of doing stand-up, that's when it started becoming. I wanna just do stand-up, which is almost impossible unless you get found somehow.
Right,
you know,
right.
well, you have to be good as well, you know. But now I'm like 15 something years into it, where my main focus is comedy, and my career outside of comedy is still, I focus on it, but because it feeds my family. But comedy's my main focus. I gear up all day to do stand-up.
Do you think it has to be talent meets luck and timing, so you get that break and you?
It's a little bit of everything, which is
Right.
like the most cliche thing to say.
But it's true.
It's a little true. Like there's comics that just have it, and I can see them 10 years ago, and not everyone can. There's a lot of comics that I've seen at open mics, and I just knew. I'm like, oh, this guy is gonna be. This girl's she's gonna make it.
Any names? Like, who did you see?
Without name dropping, like some names, Amy Schumer,
Right.
Mark Normand, Nate Bargatze, I seen these guys at mics and stuff, but they were grinding while I was moonlighting. I was moonlighting as a comic while they were like putting in the work, you know.
24/7.
Yeah,
Everything.
and there's a lot of comics that are coming up now that the people don't even know that I know are gonna make it. You know,
But
I want to. You know, I'm pushing.
But now the media is so fragmented. It used to be you go on Johnny Carson and said back in the that was it.
That was it. You made it.
Yeah. Can you make it? What avenues can you make it to?
Now it's like if you do late night, you can make it from that.
Oh, you still can. Like
What
a Jimmy
happens is,
Fallon, a Kimmel.
well, Fallon's a higher level than like Seth Meyers.
Mm-hmm.
You do Seth Meyers, you're gonna be noticed by, and this is just a guy saying this. Like, if you do Seth Meyers, you're gonna be noticed by mostly comics. Like, holy shit, that guy just did Seth Meyers. Let's put him on our show. A lot of shows, which the audience, which is you, like you don't know that a lot of these shows are put on by comics. A lot of comics produce shows.
So they get work. They have to produce their own.
Comics put comics on, and that's a lot of the thing. That's a lot of the business that's going on, because the comedy clubs are. There's not many prestigious clubs anymore. There's a few. There's a handful, you know. And I've always said like, to be a pure stand-up comedian, to make it as a pure stand-up comic, is tough. There's only a handful of just pure comics that make it.
Right.
The comics that go into acting that are good actors make it through acting usually, if that makes any sense.
No,
I wasn't even asked that, and I said that.
No, I like it. You're talking.
But
Yeah, I always ask other comics too. Alive or dead? What comics? If you had to have a dinner table conversation.
Mitch Hedberg.
Well, I've heard that name, but why?
Mitch, he was a one-liner comic, kind of very punchy. 40-second one-liners, but with like 5 punchlines in the one line.
Right.
Just like an observation. Everyone's an observational comic, but he was. If you don't know Mitch Hedberg, look him up. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, like